In this video, I will walk you through the entire process of setting up your own Shopify store from scratch. If you're new to Shopify, I know it can feel really complicated to set up your store. There are lots of buttons, settings, and features, and it's hard to know where to even begin. That's why I've made this tutorial as easy to follow as possible. I will guide you through each step so you will have a great looking, ready to launch store by the end of the video. Also, if you need help with a specific part of the setup, I have added timestamps so you can jump right to that section. So, let's get started. First, if you don't have a Shopify account, then check the description of this video. There, you will find a special sign-up link for Shopify. Clicking that link will take you to this page. If you sign up from here, then you will get a 3-day free trial, plus an extra 3 months of Shopify for just $1 per month. So, make sure to sign up using the link in the description to save yourself some money. After signing up, you will land on the Shopify dashboard here. Now before we start building our store, there's one important thing that you should do, and that is to make sure we activate our 3-month extended trial by choosing a plan. To do that, click on the search bar here and type plan. Then, click on pick your plan. Now for most people, the basic plan will be enough, so I will go ahead and choose this plan by clicking on select basic. Next, you'll need to enter your payment information here, and after entering your payment information, click on subscribe here on the right. Once you've subscribed, return to the Shopify dashboard. Now, let's start building our Shopify store. First, we need to choose a theme for our store. To do that, click here on Online Store. Here you will see that there's already a theme selected for our store, which is the Dawn theme. However, if you want to choose a different theme, then scroll down to the bottom and click on Visit Theme Store here. This will take you to the Shopify's theme library. From here you will find a lot of themes, but many of them are paid. But if you are a beginner, then I recommend clicking on the free themes option here, so it only shows all the free themes. Now from here, you can choose any theme you like. I suggest taking some time to explore and pick the one that suits your store best. Let's say you like this theme here, then simply click on it. Now to install this theme, click on Try Theme here. But before installing any theme, I recommend previewing it to see how it looks when it's fully built out. So to get a preview, click on this View Demo Store. Now you can see how this theme really looks like before you add it. You can also click the mobile icon here to see how it looks on a mobile device. Once you've previewed the theme and happy with it, then you can click on Try Theme here to install it. The theme will now be added to your theme library. So, now if I scroll down, then you will see that the theme has been added to our theme library here. I currently have the Dawn theme active by default, but if I click on Publish right here under Spotlight, then I can start using this theme. But for this video, I will be using the Dawn theme as it's my personal favorite theme to work with. But if you want to use a different theme, then now you know how to add a new theme to your store. So, now let's start customizing our Shopify theme. For that, click on Customize here. So, now we're in the Shopify theme editor. If this is your first time seeing this interface, then it might seem a bit confusing, but don't worry because it's actually simpler than it looks. I will break it down step by step in 3 simple parts. The first part is the navigation at the top here. If you look closely, then you will see it says Homepage. It says Homepage because we are currently on the homepage of our store. If you want to go to a different page on your Shopify store, then just click here, and you'll see a list of the pages you have. For example, you can navigate to the product page, collections, or even blogs and blog posts, and so on. Now, let's close this. Next, if you look to the left-hand side here, then you will see your store's content section, which is the second part. From here, you can customize your store. You can see we have our store's header, template, and footer here. You can add new section in your store by clicking here into these different areas, which says Add Section. Basically from here you can edit your store's content. Finally, the third section is the actual store itself, which appears on the right side of the screen here. If I scroll down here, then you will see all the content of the store displayed here. This is exactly what our customers will see once we've finished designing the store. Now that we have a clearer understanding of the layout, let's start designing our homepage. The first thing I'm going to do is remove this image banner from here, because I don't need it. To delete this, just click on the image, then you will see a trash can icon appear here. If you click on this trash can icon, then it will be deleted. As you can see, it's now removed from the store. You can also hide a section. For example, if I want to hide this featured collection section here, then I can click on it. And on the left-hand side, you will see a small eye icon. Now if I click on this icon, then this featured collection section will be hidden. For now, I will keep this hidden, and we will revisit this a little later in the video. So, now our store layout looks mostly empty, which gives us plenty of space to start designing our new store. Let's start by adding new content to our homepage. On the left side, click on Add Section. Then you will see a bunch of different options to choose from. Let's start with a slideshow. Click on slideshow here, and it will appear in your store, as you can see here. You will also see customization settings for this slideshow on the left. Now the only change I want to make for now is enabling auto rotate slides. This will allow the slideshow to automatically transition between the images we add. Now, instead of using Shopify's default images, we want to use our own images. For that, click the back arrow on the left side here, then select the first image slide. Under the image section, click select, then click add files and upload the image you want. Once the file is uploaded, just click done here. Now you can see the new image populate in the slideshow. I have uploaded a lifestyle photo here to give the slideshow a clean and professional look. Now, for this tutorial, I will be building a clothing store, but everything I'm showing you here can be applied to nearly any type of Shopify store, or any niche you're working with. Next, let's change the heading text to something like trendy. You can see that the default text is blocking a good portion of the image. To fix this, I will just change the heading size to small from here. Then, I will remove the subheading to reduce the text on the screen. Now, let's scroll down and change the button label. I'm going to change it to Shop Now. And for the link, I will set it to go to our products, and then all products. Next, let's remove the white background box from here, which is called the container. Once we turn that off, you will be able to see more of the image. However, the text is still hard to read, so I'm going to move it to a better spot. Let's move the text to the bottom left of the slideshow, and also set all the content to line up on the left side. With these changes, we can now see the full image, and all the text and buttons are neatly lined up on the left. Now, let's add 3 more slides here. I will do this off camera to save your time. Now here on the left you can see that I have added 3 new slides. I did this by clicking the blue Add Slide button here, and following the same steps I showed you earlier. So now, you can see how the full slideshow looks on our store, and it looks great. It creates a strong first impression for our store. You can use this same idea for any type of store, no matter what you're selling. We'll continue working on the homepage later in the video, but for now, I want to show you how to add products to your Shopify store. But first, let's click on Save in the top right to save our progress. And remember, every time you edit your store, you need to save it. After that, I will exit the Shopify theme editor by clicking Exit in the top left. Now, to add products to our Shopify store, go to Products here, and then click on Add Products. Now, here enter the name of your product. I will name my product Men's White T-shirt. Next, we need to add a product description. For this you can either use ChatGPT to write the description for you, or use Shopify's AI. I will use Shopify's AI to create the product description. To use Shopify's AI, click here, and then just tell it a few things about the product. For example, I will write something like, white t-shirt for men, then click generate here and then select keep. Now, as you can see here, the description has been added nicely. Also, if you want to make any words italic or bold, you can do that by highlighting the text, then clicking the bold button to make the text bold. You can also make text italic by clicking the italic button or even underline the text using the underline option here. Styling the text in your product description will make your product page look nicer and more professional. Next, we need to upload our product photos by clicking Upload New here. I will upload the images I have already prepared. Once uploaded, you will see them here. You can drag and drop these product images to change the order in which they appear. The first image on the left will be your featured product image, which is the main picture people will see on your store's front page. Now, I'm happy with this image here, but for example, if you wanted to make a nice lifestyle image showing a model wearing the product, your featured image, then you can drag and drop it to the far left. However, I'll stick with this one here because I want this one to be my featured product image. Now let's scroll down to check out more settings. Here you will see product category. Unless you have a lot of different products in your Shopify store, you won't be using this. For a small store like this, which only sells a few t-shirts, I wouldn't really recommend configuring this. Now, the most important setting here is to set the pricing for your product. Let's say I want to sell this t-shirt for $17.99. For the compare it price, I'll set it to $23. This will show customers that the shirt is on sale, originally priced at $23, but now available for $17.99. These small marketing tactics can really help you sell more products. Next, here we need to make sure we are charging tax on this product. Now, we can add the cost per item here. Let's say it costs us $11 to make this t-shirt. Shopify will now automatically calculate and show that we're making a profit of $6.99, and the profit margin is 38.9%. This helps you understand how much money you'll make on each sale. Next, we can choose if we want Shopify to track how many of these products we have in stock. Depending on your business, you might use a spreadsheet or a notebook to keep track of your product inventory. But if we turn this option on, Shopify can track it for us. Let's say I have 100 t-shirts to sell. Now, every time someone buys one from our store, Shopify will automatically lower the number on the dashboard. So, if I sell one, it goes from 100 to 99. Next, we can choose if we want to keep selling even when we're out of stock, and also if our product has a SKU or barcode. I'm going to leave both of these options turned off. Now, let's check the shipping settings. First, we need to choose if this is a physical product. You will only turn this option off if you're selling something like a digital file, such as a PDF, an ebook, or a course. And here, we can set the weight of the product. You can choose from pounds, ounces, kilograms, or grams. For now, I'll leave it at 0. If needed, we can also add customs information for shipping outside the country. Now, let's scroll down and take a look at the product variants section. Here, we can add choices like sizes and colors. This is especially helpful when you're selling clothes. If you click here, you'll see a bunch of options like color, size, and more. But since I don't need any options for this product, I'm not going to fill them in. Okay, with everything configured, now let's save this by clicking Save here. We have now successfully created this product. So, if I click on products here, we'll see it listed in our product list here. Now, off camera, I am going to add a few more products here using the same process I just showed you. Now, as you can see, I've added a few new products here. Some are for men and some are for women. But to keep these products organized, we will need to create some collections. So now let's create some collections and start organizing our products. To do that, click on Collections. Here you will see a default collection called Homepage, but we don't need this, so I'll delete it by clicking on the 3 dots and selecting Delete Collection. To create a new collection, click on Add Collection. Then you need to give your collection a name. Let's name it Men. This collection will contain all men's clothing. Adding a description here is optional, so you can skip it. I will just leave this empty. Here we need to add an image by clicking on Add Image. Then I will select and upload an image for this collection. After that, click on Done. The image should appear here shortly. Now here you can choose your collection type between manual or smart. Generally, it's better to keep this set to manual, so that you have more control. However, if you have a large inventory, the smart option may be more helpful. Next, scroll down to the bottom to start adding products. Click on Search Products and type Men. It will show me all the relevant products. I will select all the products from here and click Add. And now all of my men's clothing has been added to the men's collection. So let's save this collection by clicking Save. If I now click on Collections again, then you'll see our new collection listed here in the Collections panel. Following the same process, I will create 2 more collections called Women and Best Selling, and meet you back in just a moment. So, as you can see, I've created a few more collections. I have my Best Selling, Men, and Women's collection here. We have a total of 3 collections. Now that our products and collections have been created, we can finally add them to our Shopify store. For that, click on Online Store here, and then click Customize. If I now scroll down on our store, then you can see that it's still not quite finished. It looks pretty empty. So, let's start designing the store and adding the products and collections we've created. First, let's unhide our featured collection by clicking on the eye icon on the left. Now you can see that the featured collection is currently positioned above the slideshow, but I want it to appear below it. So, on the left, I'll simply drag the featured collection underneath the slideshow to reorder the content. You can see on the right how the website is updating as I make these changes. Next, we want the products we added to be displayed in this featured collection. To do that, click on it, then click on Select. I'll select the best-selling collection from the list, and you can see the products populate here. We can also change the text that says Featured Collection. Just click on it, and on the right side, we can update the text to Best Selling. Now, I'll adjust the image ratio from Adapt to Portrait for a more consistent look. Otherwise, the images might appear in slightly different sizes. All the images now are the same size, which looks great, so I'll go back by clicking on the back button here. Next, I'll add a new section in our store. From the left, I'll click on Add Section, then I will select Collection List. Here you can see that this has been added to our store. By default, 3 auto-generated collections will appear here, but I only need 1. So, I'll delete the other 2 by clicking on them, and then clicking the trash can icon. Now there's only 1 collection left, but we need to link this to the collection we created earlier. To do that, from the left, I'll select a collection. Let's choose the best-selling collection. Now, you can see that it has been added. However, it looks like my image is being cut off here. To fix this, from the left, click on Collection List, and change the image ratio from square to adapt to image. So now, the image looks perfect. Next, let's change the text here from collections to new arrivals. This is looking great, so let's go back by clicking on the back button. Now, I want this collection list to appear above the featured collection. So, I'm going to drag it above the featured collection. And now, if I scroll down, you can see that we have our new arrivals section at the top and the featured collection below it. Before we move on to the next step, there's one last thing I want to do, which is to add another collection list. To do that, click on Add Section again, then click Collection List. Now I'll delete one of these collections, so that only 2 collections remain. So, let's remove this collection, and then click into the first one here, and on the left click Select. Here I'll choose the men's collection. You can see now that the men's collection has been linked here. Same way I will add the women's collection. Again, my images got cut off, so from the left I'll go to Collection List, and change the image ratio from square to adapt to image. Now, I'll change the columns from 3 to 2, so it fits the screen properly. Lastly, I'll change the text from collections to something like Choose Your Style. Everything looks good now, so I'll go back by clicking on the back button here. If we scroll to the top of our store, then you can see everything we've just added. In my opinion, everything looks great and professional so far. Next, let's customize our store's header. If I scroll up on our store, then you'll see the header area on the left here. There are 2 sections here. One is the announcement bar, and the other is the header itself. You can customize the text in the announcement bar by clicking on it, but I don't need an announcement bar on this store, so I'll remove it by clicking the trash can icon. The first thing we need to do here is add our store's logo. If you look at here, then you can see, here it says Example 321 Store, but in your case, it might say My Store, and the logo will be added here instead of this text. So, to add a logo, click on the gear icon on the left, and go to the theme settings, then click on Logo. Next, click Select, Add Files, upload your logo, and then click on Done. Now, because my logo is actually a white color logo, so we are not going to see it properly appear here. To fix this, click into the header, and on the left, change the color scheme from Scheme 1 to Scheme 4. Now we can see the logo properly appear here. Next, from the left I'll change my logo's position from middle left to middle center. You'll see this change reflected on the store here, and also, the menu will appear on the left side of our store. I think this makes it a bit more easier for customers to interact with our store, and it also looks cleaner. The next important thing we have to customize is our menu navigation here. Right now, we have our homepage, catalog, contact, and about us page, but I want this to display our collections here that we have created earlier, so it should say best selling, men, and women. This way, our customers can easily navigate the store and find the section they're interested in. To configure our menu, first, let's save and exit the store. First, on the left, click on Content, then click on Menus. Here you'll see your store's main menu. Click on the main menu to edit it. You'll notice 3 menu items here: Home, Catalog, and Contact. Let's remove the Home, and then Catalog, and the Contact page. Now we'll start adding the items we actually want in the main menu of our store. To do that, click on Add Menu Item. For the label, I'll name it Best Selling, and to link this page, click on Link, then go to Collections, and choose the Best Selling collection. Now I'll do the same for men's, and link it to the men's collection. Lastly, I'll add the women's collection, and link it just like the others. Once you've done that, click the check mark next to each of these items to confirm, then click Save to save everything. Next, let's go back to our store's theme editor. Click on Online Store, and then Customize. Now, on the header, you can see the new menu items. Best Selling, Men, and Women, all of them are added to the menu. Just to show you, if I click on this menu item called Women, then you'll see it takes us to the women's collection page, which means everything is working perfectly. Let's go back to the store's homepage by clicking on the logo. The next thing we need to customize now is our store's footer. If I scroll all the way down, then you'll see the footer of the store, which is this. To start customizing, click on the footer, and settings will appear on the left side. The first option you'll see here is an email sign-up form. This is a great way to get your customers to subscribe to your newsletter. You can offer discounts or coupon codes to encourage more sign-ups. But for this store, I'll turn this option off, but it's completely up to you whether you want to keep it on. Below that, you'll see some other options that you can toggle on or off. One of these is the Follow on Shop option. If you have Shop Pay enabled, then you can go ahead and turn this on. You can also add your social media icons, a country and region selector, and a language selector. And lastly, at the bottom, you'll find your store's policy links. Currently, we only have the privacy policy page configured as you can see here in the footer, but we need to set up our other policy pages, so let's do that now by clicking on the Manage Policies button. This will open a new tab where we can configure the policy pages, and now we can configure our policy pages from here. First, let's set up the return and refund policy. Click on it, then click Insert Template. After that, you will see Shopify has automatically filled all the information using their template. This seems more like a general overview rather than something tailored, so read through it to ensure you're happy with the policy itself. You can also modify anything from here, like if you want this 30-day return policy to be 15-day return policy, then you can change it from here if you want to. Once you're happy with it, click Publish. Next, let's do the same for the terms of service. Click on it, then click Insert Template. Review the content and make any changes you need, then click Publish. Now for the shipping policy, there's no template available, so you'll need to write your own shipping policy. For now, I'll just write shipping policy and click Publish. Lastly, let's add the contact information. Click on Insert Template. After that, fill out all of this information here, and then click Publish. Now, let's go back to the theme editor by clicking on this cross icon, and then Customize. If I scroll down to the footer of our store, then you'll see that all the policies have been added here at the bottom. Also, one thing I notice here is that all the policy links are aligned at the left, while everything in our store is center aligned. So let's fix it. First, exit the store, then go to Content, and select Menus. Now click on the footer menu. Next, delete the search and the other menu item. We'll now start adding all the policy pages to this footer menu. Just click on Add Menu Item, then click on Link. Go to Policies, and first I'll add our contact information. Like this, I'll go ahead and add the rest of the policy pages we created earlier. After adding all the policy pages, click Save to finalize everything. Now let's go back to the theme editor by clicking on Online Store, then Customize. Once you're in the theme editor, scroll all the way down to the very bottom of our Shopify store, then click on the footer section. And on the left, toggle the policy links option off to remove all the policies. Now to properly display our footer menu that shows all our policy links, click on the back button, then underneath footer, click on Add a Block, and choose Menu. You can see now all our policy links have properly appeared here. If I click on the menu itself, then on the left you'll notice it's automatically linked to the footer menu. However, if yours doesn't link correctly, this is where you can configure that. You can just go ahead and select the correct footer menu. Also, I don't want the heading to say Quick Links, so I'll just remove it. As you can see now, it looks more professional because everything is centered on the page, and it's looking great. The last thing I want to do in this footer area is remove this Powered by Shopify text. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as highlighting and removing it. We need to head to a different section for this. But don't worry, it's not too difficult. First, let's save our store and click Exit. Here next to the current theme, click the three dots and select Edit Default Theme Content. Once it loads, click on this search icon, and in the search bar, type links. You'll see the Powered by Shopify text appear here. To remove it, simply type a single space in the box, and click Save. Now click on the back button here, and go to the theme editor. Once you're here, scroll all the way down to the footer of our Shopify store, and here you will see that the Powered by Shopify message is gone from the footer. You might also notice that the footer still says Example 321 Store, but in your case, it might say My Store. But we need to update this to our store's name for branding. To do this, exit the theme editor, then click on Settings at the bottom left. Then in General, under Store Details, you'll see it says Example 321 Store, but again yours might say My Store. So now click here to edit this, and change it to your store's name. I'll name my store Navarro, which is the name of my clothing store. Click Save, and go back to the theme editor by clicking this cross icon, and then Customize. From here, if I now scroll all the way down to the very bottom of our Shopify store, then you'll see it now says Navarro right here. Alright, now that we've configured the header and footer, let's go ahead and change some of our theme settings. To find your theme settings, click on the gear icon here on the left. First, we need to upload a favicon. A favicon is a small logo of a website that appears on the browser tab. For example, this is Shopify's favicon here. To upload your favicon, click Select, then Add Files and upload your favicon. Once the upload is complete, click Done. Now, the favicon will appear on your website once it's published. There are some other things we can customize. Like if your store has a specific brand or color scheme, then you can adjust those here. For my store, the black and white color scheme looks good enough, so I'm going to stick with it. You can also change the font of your store. To do that, click on Typography. From here I will change the font from Assistant to Archivo. Then just click on Select. I will also change the body font from Assistant to Archivo Narrow, and click Select again. Lastly, go to Animations and enable the 3D Lift, Hover effect. This effect looks really good, and just adds a little bit of polish to our store. Let's take a look at how it works. If I scroll to the top and hover over one of our products, you will see it just slightly comes off the page. Now let's see what our product page looks like on our store. If I click on this product, then you will see the t-shirt image appear here, along with all the other product images we have uploaded. And here is our product description. Overall, the product page looks good. One more important thing is that, on the left, you will see the entire structure of the product page. You can edit this exactly the same way we edited our homepage, meaning you can add blocks, configure sections, and make your product pages to look exactly how you want. I'm happy with how it looks, so I will leave it like this. Also, if you want to see how your store looks on mobile devices, then click on this mobile icon at the top right, and check if your store is mobile optimized or not, as most people shop on mobile devices nowadays, so it's crucial to ensure your store looks good on mobile. Now if I go to our homepage, then you can see that my homepage is also looking really good and optimized for mobile devices. Everything looks nice, and the store feels really professional. So I think now it's time to start configuring the store settings and getting ready to publish our store. First, I will click Save, then exit the theme editor. Now before publishing our store, there are some important things we need to do in our Settings tab. To go there, go to the bottom left of the screen and click on Settings. First, you need to enter your store details here, such as your phone number, email address, and billing address. Once you have done that, go over to Payments here. From here, you will have to choose between Shopify payments and the default option, which is PayPal payments. I will highly recommend going with Shopify payments here, as this checkout method converts really well in my opinion, and customers really prefer this. So click here on Complete Account Setup and go through the account setup process and set up Shopify payments on your store. Now, click on Shipping and Delivery. Here you can manage where you ship and how much you will be charging for shipping your products. Click on General Shipping Rates, and here you can configure your shipping based on specific products of your store. You also have your fulfillment location and shipping zones for both domestic and international. So from here you can pretty much configure everything related to shipping and delivery for your store. Next, let's move on to taxes and duties. Here within taxes and duties, you will want to make sure that you're properly collecting taxes based on the regions that you're shipping to. If you're unsure about how to set this up, it's a good idea to consult with a tax professional to ensure everything is correct for your business. Now on the left-hand side, let's go into domains. Here you can either buy a domain from Shopify or connect an existing domain. If you don't have one already, I would recommend buying a domain through Shopify because it's more easier to set up. To do this, click on Buy New Domain, and then type the domain name you want to buy. For example, here I could go with navarroclothing.store, then Shopify will check if it's available, and if it is, like here, you can see it's available for $9 for the first year. Then you can buy it by clicking on Buy, and after you bought the domain, Shopify will automatically connect the domain with your store. And in my experience, this is usually done within a few minutes to just about an hour. The last thing we will want to do here is to go to Languages on the left. Now within the Languages tab, you're able to translate your store's content to different languages out there. Depending on the regions you're selling your products to, I highly recommend completing this step. It can boost your store's conversion rate by up to 13% in those countries, so it's definitely worth it to do this step. So after configuring everything, click on this cross button to exit the settings. Now that everything is configured, let's publish our store. To do this, just remove the password from your store by clicking on the Remove Password button. Once you do that, your store will officially be published. You can also preview the store we created by clicking on View Store here. And as you can see, this store looks really good and professional. And in my opinion, it would start driving sales immediately. Thanks for watching.